Hey guys, and welcome to another Marvel video. Today we're going to be talking about Scarlet Witch and how she could be a better hero in the game, like by some changes to her ability kit. Now, she actually has one of the most unique ability kits in the game. Like, her abilities don't look like any of the other heroes. I mean, look how much artwork and everything goes into her actual thing. I mean, these calamity spheres, I always want to call them chaos orbs because it just sounds like a better name. Looks really cool. The Hex Bolts is really cool. Like she has such a cool aesthetic around her, but she has such weakness with her, unfortunately. That's the problem, is that her abilities, as cool as they look and everything, they don't add that, like, wow, I'm a superhero vibe. It's kind of like, oh my god, I gotta spam this 10 times until I kill a monster. Like, it doesn't feel worthwhile. And I think some changes that could be made to her kit to make her better is, I mean, her calamity spheres, her chaos orbs, these circle things that are shooting at everyone, they already do an A damage, like A rated damage, which is very high. She has the A rated dagger damage ability as well as the Hex Bolts. Hex Bolts and Calamity Spheres both do A damage. She doesn't really have anything that staggers, though. That's her problem. She's very good at attacking anything that doesn't have a stagger bar. Unfortunately, everything at the high end of this game, anything worthwhile that you're actually struggling to kill, has a stagger bar. So I think she needs some changes to make her more worthwhile and usable. And changes I would suggest would make Calamity Spheres or Hex Bolt something. One of them should actually do higher stagger damage. Like, maybe Calamity Spheres, instead of a D stagger, it should be like a B stagger. Like, it actually does a lot of stagger damage. And I think it should attack at least 50 to 100% faster, because those orbs kind of go out really slowly. Now imagine they could go out twice the speed or all at once. Like, as she brings them up, they all shoot out and find different opponents. That will make her a lot more fun to play without actually having to change the damage thing. Like, just having her spheres attack a lot quicker and letting her be able to cast them a lot more often, but obviously reducing the EP cost because she's going to be spamming it a lot more and, running out of energy a lot quicker. Her ability called Disaster Field is, I honestly, I didn't even know what it was because I'd never use it, because it's just so bad. It basically sets a magic field that deals continuous damage to enemies and causing a slow effect, and you can hold the button to aim it. It does F damage, and so basically it's a slow. Like, it's literally a slow. Like, this is not really usable. I would replace this with something more substantial. Maybe like a kind of chaos charge where she can send like some lightning in a charge form that does a lot of stagger damage, maybe. Like, it needs something that can also synergize with a lot of other heroes, because she seriously lacks in the, because of her unique abilities, she lacks in the synergies department, because she can't synergize with other heroes as much because her abilities are so unique and different that she actually doesn't have a synchronization with other teammates. Like, she feels really left out. Like, most of the stuff she can do is like the catalyst, the like explosion. I know when you cast like a tornado, she can like make it explode. Like, that's the only one I actually know that she can do, like, that I can remember. Her Hex Bolts ability is really cool, but I think Calamity Spheres is the preferred, you know, damaging ability. Now you have Hex Bolts, which is also an A damage ability, so they're both on the same scale, Calamity and Hex Bolts. But Hex Bolts has a lower stagger. And I think Hex Bolts should have a much higher stagger. I think Hex Bolts should actually be like an A stagger and maybe a B damage. Like, that would actually change for the good. She can actually have the ability to stagger enemies and give it a synergy kind of thing that can do it. Like, maybe give her the effect that, like, when people cast lightning and stuff, like, she literally has lightning all over her. Like, I know it's like more chaos, it's not really lightning, but give her a lightning kind of attribute or lightning stuff. Like, give her lightning enhancement. I swear she will be, like, at least in the top 10 heroes if she could just use shock. If shock was a part of her kit, she would be amazing. Her Chaos Blessing is, it's her healing ability. I know, like, we've got kind of like one of everything. One that does energy, one that does healing, one that does, damage, slowing, just. But she already has one. Like, Disaster Field, she's got a slow ability and a healing ability. Like, why have two of them, dude? Like, you're just filling up space here with what could be potential new abilities. Her Chaos Blessing is actually okay though. Like, I tested her healing. I was like, when I was first playing the game, like back when she was level 50, her healing sucked. Now it's like max level. Her healing is actually not that bad. Like I would say, it's actually okay. I did test it. I was like, oh, actually, it's kind of it's okay. It's like I can see a use for it. If you're really struggling and you need some extra healing, and you don't want to waste like ISO 8 on like defensive kind of healing for everyone. You can actually just rely on this ability itself. But I really think she needs the damage and the thing because she can't just be a support hero. I mean, heroes that are support in this game need to either have synergies or like just that's it. They just need to have synergies, to be honest, because there's no other reason I'm gonna have a hero that she occasionally does a heal. Like I don't care about that. Like just do some damage or do a lot of synergies with my main hero that I'm gonna play. Sorry about the dogs barking, dudes. So, like, all in all, in conclusion, I would say that her Calamity Sphere should be at least faster, or at least cost all of the orbs at once. Like at least 100% faster at the current rate that it goes, or all of the orbs at once. I think all of the orbs at once will be a lot cooler because you don't just stand in the same place for too long. Because in this game, standing in the place for too long is quite dangerous. And I think give her a higher stagger on that. Maybe like keep it at A damage, give it a C stagger, just to you don't want to make it too overpowered. But then on her Hex Bolts, give her a B damage on her Hex Bolts, but a stagger. Make her Hex Bolts able to kind of like do stagger damage, like to a point where she can actually stagger enemy characters with stagger bars effectively, so that she's not completely useless in that way. And I think also give her a ability to use shock, like the shock attribute. I think she should have on like pretty much at least both of these abilities, Hex Bolts and Calamity Spheres, to make her a lot usable and a lot more, end game meta friendly. Her Chaos Blessing, I'm okay with how it is. The healing, keep it as is. Her Disaster Field, I honestly think you should give her like a charge ability. Maybe she doesn't have to charge herself, but maybe she can send like a Chaos like big ass thing, like a lightning, Kamehameha kind of ability, where it kind of counts as a charge, which can synergize with other heroes because a lot of charges can synergize with heroes, and like use that to like her advantage or something, or even give her something like Star Lord's Amped Up, where it's like a AOE kind of explosion, because she actually has all these abilities that are really you have to aim them. Like Calamity Spheres, you have to be aiming at a hero, or enemy. I mean, Hex Bolts, you have to be aiming like Chaos Blessing. Okay, cool. It's like on the ground. That's fine, but like give her something that's AoE, like in Disaster Field. Replace Disaster Field with an AoE kind of amped up ability, and I swear Scarlet Witch will become one of the top heroes in the game, just like that. What is your opinion on this hero, dudes? What would you change on Scarlet Witch to make her a better hero in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? Like what would you change yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, dudes.